is no escape!
Solidify! Order guide you!
Committed to memory, the Temple of Wisdom.
Here you are.
Illusion shattered!
Yeah!
There is no escape!
Of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food. Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking! We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
In such investigations, even the smallest, to be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities... It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's easy to guard against, which is exactly why the Spina di... Those highfalutin folk... It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play, don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Ah, valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging all right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of...
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make sense. Why don't we give it a try after...
Huh? No, it's...
All right.
Is that so? If we're all finished eating, then...
Yeah. Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Nah, that would be Hey, Navia! What are you
Oh, nothing.
Let's get...
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in in any case, I wish you...
See ya! People around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache?
Looks like we're back here, huh? Traveler?
Vache?
Hey. What? Huh? Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Vache? Are you... my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Wait. Who am I? My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on... Yes, that is what I was once. I do not know how I came to be like this either. I also... No matter where I... But now... No! Our the thought of me... If you meet Vache, perhaps that is... If only I could have comforted him. Is that what you... It was a state... I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the... I think I hear your companion. Farewell.
Wake up! Come on, hurry! Navia's outnumbered!
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand? Quick, now's our chance! I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so,
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking.
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. he would do the same.
Do not!
Sorry, demoiselle.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish—
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you. But I believe that your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
And what about—
None of these mecha have serial. I can only conclude.
What?
Yes.
I will continue. Right. I suppose that's the best news.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss—
I know, I just... She's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were— Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and not— Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too!
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite... As such.
It will take 50 years for me to match.
If it were me, I—
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in—
Well, to be honest,
Huh?
yes. After we parted, that the Fanta tasted kind of... Fanta?
So the fun—
Yes.
Spina di Ros—
Huh! Really?
I sent people to hotel... That's when I figured out that...
What?
Well, speaking of which...
Well, it can't— Oh, and this time Paimon heard it— Does that mean—
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad...
New intel? While—
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh, that is important. Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that, but he never gave testimony or any Yes, thank you. You...
Well, you did. And besides, we're in this now with—
Demoiselle, do try not to look—
You talk too much. Well, we also have some plans.
Don't worry, you two.
Collecting rare and exclusive. It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, traveler.
So, this is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father... he was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself. The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Demoiselle.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained...
Wait! If Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be...
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just...
But how could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely...
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel.
Oh, her? Well, then... yeah. That's not the sort of thing that you...
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent, she knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute, there was only ever one choice.
Don't worry, now.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety. Yes, that is our
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like thanks.
Yeah.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back. But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere. I suspect that those No. And that is the archives kept if the... Oh,
So Neuvillette, in that case, what?
No. The palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Welcome to Palais Mermonia.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters.
This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Neuvillette's files are really secure.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell.
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief.
Thank...
Please come in. It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vache. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Who knew that Neuvillette would be so easy to talk to?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so?
Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say? Are you trying to console me? Extend your... No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, you even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry.
You and my father, it's not so much... Oh well. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine.
You're right. Wasn't it?
Now that I think of it, on the day...
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water and then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one...
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not... All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's...
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later? All right, then I'll wait. There's no need. My father was a gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing. Paimon was confused. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, pues... Malus, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You still remember?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson. At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking as he
Boss is uncompromised. Not only that.
Yes. Recognizing that the man's name was Jacques that night, my but then...
Huh? How did that happen?
Sounds just like Lenny's. Looking back on it, though, I now believe precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with zero warning. I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina di Rosula is there is no need...
If that's indeed what he wished for, was I not the closest person to him? What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is... Did he think I'd just I've never accepted that. I want to find out.
Sylvia.
This is indeed the best moment...
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. But what drove...
What?
Well, and the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years knowing all of this, but as long as... If something were to...
Right, so...
As we've seen, Boss...
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared...
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as...
So he chose...
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, demoiselle. If Boss's spirit... I'm sure he'd be
That fool... No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where Yeah. I suppose, but thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. Malus, what was the key evidence?
It's the when he was... But if you...
Why?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against... There's no telling, but the worst case...
Then...
Well, you saw...
But things...
You sound like you've put a lot of thought...
I am the but. I've always been willing to take on any kind...
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
Let me think. When I announced if the vendors did... After several rounds, the first is...
Huh?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some...
So...
Yes, it's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between... Although the guards, since Thierry...
I see. To think that...
If you want to...
Of course.
You're too kind. And before I forget, proving Bob after that incident, if it might help...
Aw, thank you so...
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work...
One with nature.
It is settled, then. Please excuse me, and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss.
Oh.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry.
If it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
You don't understand.
I didn't know how to face you. Because I didn't know what I know.
I'm sorry. On the matter regarding my husband...
Would you mind sharing it with me?
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought so. When Mr. Cal, he tried to be...
They found out...
Papa didn't say that.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell. I don't know that for sure, but... Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Even if he...
But Mama, what Papa always wanted to...
Well, things aren't all...
Yeah. Papa...
Then you should hold on to that, regardless of...
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is...
You really... That's...
you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Laurent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way. So please don't...
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about...
Yeah, I've heard.
It also reminds... After my partner here put the... Can you do me a favor?
After that, my first react, but when I got...
So you also...
Indeed. Reason being, but according to the guards, about the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
At least from our... The gun he was holding?
Yeah, that makes... But hold on. He didn't even... Did he lose all
About that, I'll tell you
I understand. And if I may many people have... But it was Mr. Cat, no matter what...
Don't worry. You and all are...
Time to go.
Hey, Thierry! It's...
Oh!
Oh!
Oh, okay.
Are you sure there isn't...
I mean, where Callus to defend, it would be next to him.
Yes. What happened at the...
I get it. If you want to go through the...
That'd be much...
Of course. Why do you ask?
Well, so... if you...
If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it. If you try to make removing a serial number, so I can promise, they're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, jokes aside, I'll be staying in the city.
Follow the wind. Never again.
Hello. How may I help you? I'm here to see... Sure.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as...
Oh, it's all... I just wanted to...
Yes.
Oh!
That's right. I also witnessed... To beat the Hydra...
Oh...
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and the...
Uncle Marcel...
Yes. I was reminded of...
Exactly.
Oh, and...
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also... If not for the vigilance...
Alas. But rest assured now, if anyone dare...
Thank you, Uncle. Do you have any new thoughts?
The confrérie was... Then I heard the sound of a...
Oh, it's a...
Sounds good. All my wealth comes from...
The wind knows me.
We've talked to all...
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Anyway.
But where should we start? You've...
According to Jacques...
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn... Makes sense. Besides, Jock, it's obvious that out...
Do you think he...
Given everything that's happened since... But who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Thierry, you say? But...
Yeah, if the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out.
Uncle Merce, and with funds, still, also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to... Florent? But...
So you're saying...
Exactly. Who could it be? You know, if you think everything through...
Could we be missing...
The suspect is... Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle...
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and stuff.
Yes, we need far more...
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been...
Huh?
Yeah.
Wasn't that place built...
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called...
What?
Yeah.
Well...
Wait.
That's what I thought. If the charge...
Right.
Yeah.
I understand. Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Since this is... You're right. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up...
We'll help you.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver.
We heard. It's our hope that...
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Aranias, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so According to Malusa's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all. You're right. Navia's probably...
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept—
To be perfect, however, in which case, as long as I accept the charge, I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is...
That case had nothing to do with him! You've got the wrong man!
Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court, but that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Oh, please. We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be—
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, so, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is— Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières!
Huh? What confrérie?
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember, both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarande in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques... in truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, however, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea. The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. Unfortunately, this assassin... A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guard, but now, realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
That's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home!
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect. We should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that...
That makes sense to me.
Why do I think...
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself.
Alternatively...
My second question has to do with the Then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had...
I've thought about this too. And the answer is actually pretty simple. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation... What was certain...
Boss once told me that the more...
What? If the secret had gotten out, the... Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth, but what good would that do? How can had this opera? But by staying silent, I was able to be. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will. So, you. That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about—
So, during the duel, did you believe—
Yes, as a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless in my line of work. I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never—
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears—
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right? What she said was fascinating. But kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after— And, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of—
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one. On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control—
Not what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only— But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the— You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezh. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish?
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing—
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he— But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings and to stop rushing headlong into things.
This isn't just about me, and it never has been. The biggest difference between me, the people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard.
I was waiting for you to... I'll protect us.
Transfiguration! One with nature.
My apologies.
Whoa! The floor is going up! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
Time to go.
We need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up. The water level is rising! Now we can swim to the top! But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Let the show begin.
Take your truth! The wind knows me.
Whirling snow!
Into the wind!
Now the path is clear! Let's go!
Protect us.
Transfigure it! The wind knows me.
My apologies. Take flight.
After all that, we finally... Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here. That's... What's all the pink accessories? A hair tie? A necklace? Even a makeup box? Oh, Paimon sees it too, but... Huh? You mean the girls from... And all the boxes of things. These names... Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the primordial... Mixing in... Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep! Let's see what's written... Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation... This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have the old doubt he can act... I concur. Let's send some... Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water! That means this is where they make all the synth! And that special water is the... If you dilute it with no Paimon will... What's this over here? Looks like some kind of experiment. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23, and 24 were dissolved. Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that Paimon's never... How can someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone? You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why he did all of these experiments. But did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... So that's it! Vache was no, that's not it either! If that's the... In any case... We've looked at almost everything here. Yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals it. No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything to do with that name along that way. Even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the... Sure thing. Paimon won't admit... You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either. Whoa, really? Let Paimon see. Vinier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name? Then you found her diary. Aw. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love. So many. she decide Marcel? Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vacher and Vinier's grown? Hey!
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd...
I was waiting for you.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
It's all right, Monsieur Neuvillette. Given their confidence,
But the truth of it, Marcel.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair, and we are after your love. You even create...
So that's it. And with that,
this information, well, you fixated your gaze, so you...
You also never
For our determination to...
You're determined.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to.
Do you think... Pay attention to you? What for? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades they said there's... Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! You only have yourselves to blame. Vinier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she... But I'm not from this blasted place.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve. Do you all see? I did all of that. I spent my...
The suspect is...
Don't touch me! Vinier, please!
At this point, the verdict...
Fine by me.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vinier. During an underwater expedition, Vinier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vinier back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all. The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vacher. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
Yippee! We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice! He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves! Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing justice has been served.
Yeah. It's...
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to. So, if you'll excuse me...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Tartaglia is guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict.
The judgment of the guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Neuvillette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment is the final verdict of the court. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it! I don't know what happened there either! Hey, stop staring at me!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dear, don't tell me. You thought...
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no...
However, given the state of things, and... of course, for every performance... If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable! All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the Oratrice's verdict. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall...
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost.
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now. After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff, so he should have known he'd go to prison someday, right? Oh, Monsieur Neuvillette! That power you showed when you took him down. Who are you?
I'm the Chief Justice of Fontaine, of course. If officers of the law lack the strength and capability to enforce it, then it makes a mockery of justice.
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list!
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vacher? I erased all records of that name. So, unless...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that... The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life. You can do whatever you want to me afterwards. I don't care.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans? Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs? Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief Justice.
Thank you, Your Honor. Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well? Oh, in that case...
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it! So you heard it too!
Vinier, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache? Vache!
I'm here! Where are you, Vinier? I'm coming for you. I'm finally here for you.
Hey, wait! Be careful! Hey, wait!
Vinier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vinier!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember.
It's been more than all this time. Only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. Nothing else mattered to me. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like this? Vinier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without you.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
What are you saying?
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia itself. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone, with nothing but the tears on her cheeks. It's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because of you.
You... Wait, you are not Vinier. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vinier. I am the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals, but we became one, just as streams of water come together in the sea. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vinier.
Why? But then, where is Vinier?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became? You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vigniere's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vigniere's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
No! Yeah! She can't hate me. Let me see her, please! Have mercy!
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vigniere. She really doesn't want to see you anymore. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Vache.
Vache? Vache? Vache. 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 Drown.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Ah, well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen when I woke up in such a good mood.
Even this weather can't put a
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, now that...
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days, Navia. What have you been busy with since the trial?
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between Poisson and the courts in Sen. Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held one back then, no one was going to come. This time, though, everyone in Poisson, and even many people from the court, all attended.
So his name's definitely been cleared now. That's what we like to hear.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle all along.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. I'm so glad I didn't give up on the case all those years ago. Oh, by the... well, maybe it'd be more...
Huh? So you...
Yeah, wait, I believe the story... To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. So, we've been on pretty good terms ever since. She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances case.
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super interested in that case, so now her wish has finally come true too.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you both sound really cool. Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarande out for a meal.
Oh, are you two on better terms now?
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clarande gave testimony on my father's behalf. It was thanks to her that we...
Oh, that's great! Paimon also thought Clarande wasn't actually a bad person. It's always good to have more friends.
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the public consciousness. Oh, actually, there's still one last thing I need to do.
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave. and tell him the truth of what happened, as well as how it all ended. And on top of that, just how much people still look up to him, to this day. That includes me, too.
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too! We also think Callus is a really admirable person.
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After all, without you, there might not have been such a positive ending.
And in that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering the recent weather, we'll be lucky if we can reach Poisson before dark.
Yeah, you're right. It's been raining non-stop for a few days now.
Huh? Isn't that Neuvillette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown, but still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologize to me over and over.
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Neuvillette. In any case, why did you come to Poisson?
There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be any... which is also what I believed. But Mr. Callus proved me, if not for him, Mr. Callus, and in the end, a justice that's... So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say this regret is that high and mighty chair in the Opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
I'm sorry for being mad at you before. So, you're actually one of those types.
Sorry about that.
Let's not disturb them. Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Huh? Oh no. Paimon... Anyway, Neuvillette is still...
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respect?
We ran into Navia on the streets today, so we just followed her here.
I see. Then is there something that I can help you with?
Well, it's pretty hard to run into...
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to return the favor. Truthfully, there used to be a special sea most of Tevat.
So it really was where
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly ancient age.
So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything.
Indeed. Why would... To be frank, that also... Is there anything... Your sibling, another blonde-haired traveler. If she ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure she followed our laws to the letter, and had no reason to appear on the stage. Is there anything else? My apologies. However, for many years, as a divine, not only can it, which is all to say, I was not a... In any case, based on Farina, while we do if we did...
If you ask...
Is there... That the sea level, does that appropriate?
That's right!
Yes, up to... Rumors have it that...
A prophecy?
2 parts of... Speaking, if the rumors were...
But...
Is there... Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what... It will soon be time for me to leave.
You really...
Crime and villainy do not have the day off.
Alright, huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped.